All right, we have a slow, stretchy yoga ahead of us today. If you've got blocks, you'll want to use those. They're just always nice to uh, to have if you'd like. So we're going to start in a constructive rest position today. So that means the feet are going to come wide, the knees drop in on one another. If you've got music that you want to start before you settle down to the back, then please go ahead and get that started. But as you settle down to that constructive rest position, as I said, the feet come wider than the knees, and then the knees drop in. One hand comes to heart, one hand comes to belly, and close down the eyes. And of course, if this shape doesn't feel good in your low back, then take a different shape that feels better for you, that allows you to physically settle into this space. Once you find that physical shape, take a deep, full breath in through your nose. Open up, exhale, let that go. Another deep, full breath to just fully arrive in your body and in your mind. Fill up in its presence. Breathe in. And open up, exhale. Let that go. And just allow your body to soften to the earth here, knowing that you're fully supported in this space. And take an inhale. Exhale that out. And then open your arms out to a T. Just let the knees drop from side to side. Just wringing out the spine and the hips here. And as the knees travel over to the right, just let them fall to the right and look to the left as you do that. And inhale as your knees travel through center, the head swivels to the other side, knees fall to the left, look to the right. Inhale, draw back through center. And take your right ankle, just cross it over your left. Just let the knee fall open for a moment. So the left foot's still on the ground, the right knee is just heavy. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you can draw the left knee towards you and release your hands behind the left hamstring. Maybe you lift and lower the left leg. Don't force it here, just depending on how your hips feel. But just a figure four stretch. And take an inhale. As you exhale, unwind, send your left foot to the ground, but then catch the right foot, right big toe. Half happy baby, you're just going to draw that right knee down towards your armpit. If you'd like, you can slide the left leg forward. You get a little bit more sensation into the left hip flexor as you do that. Breathe in. Exhale, release the grip of that foot. Send your right foot to the ceiling. Interlace your hands behind your right hamstring. Point your right toes. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, flex your ankle, hug the knee to your chest. Inhale, point the toes, straighten the leg. Exhale, flex the ankle, bring the knee in. So you're flossing the nerve here. with a lift and a lower. Of course, it warms the muscle too, but it's really meant to support the nerve, particularly the sciatic nerve that runs the length of your leg. And then send the foot straight to the ceiling. You can flex the ankle here and just a gentle hug in, breathing into the right hamstring. Inhale. As you exhale, bend the left knee, draw it back, set the right foot down so both knees are just bent here, and just pause for a moment. Inhale. As you exhale, figure four to the left side, so left ankle finds right thigh. And again, we just hold for just a moment. I want you to feel the gravity of the left knee. Allow it just to press away from the body. If it's really collapsing in, you might energetically have to press away. Now float that right foot, maybe interlace the hands behind your right hamstring. You can always lift and lower the right leg, or you can just hold in this space, breathing into that left hip, the outer glutes. And take a breath in. As you exhale, we begin to unwind. Right foot finds the ground, left hand finds the left foot, and we find our half happy baby. Once you find that left knee towards the ground, maybe then you slide the right leg long. But again, we're not compromising the body in any way, meeting it where it's at. Breathe in. Exhale, send the left foot to the ceiling, interlace your hands behind the left hamstring. Again, start with a point of the left toes, and now exhale, flex as you hug the knee in. Inhale, press it away, and we move just like that for a few rounds of breath. One more, lands with a straight leg. You can flex the ankle if you'd like. Breathe into that hamstring. And take an inhale. As you exhale, gently release, just walk both feet back here and set everything down. And pause. Take an inhale. As you exhale, gently roll to your left side and just prop yourself up to your forearm. From there, we're going to stay on the side for just a moment. I want you to take your legs long. So the left leg's going to come just kind of slightly at a diagonal. The right foot's going to go slightly back. So my feet are kind of in this scissor shape. And then I want you to find like a sore spot on the top outer edge of your glute. Make sure you're not dumped too much into that shoulder too on the bottom, protect it. So just press into wherever that sore spot is on like top outer edge. Lift the right leg and now draw like you're trying to touch your right elbow and then kick it back and across, straighten it out. Pull over and across to the front and then kick it back and across. And you're pressing into that sore spot in the glute the whole time. So again, this is nerve flossing. But now a different spot and breathe. A couple more of those. One more. And set it down. We're just going to flip sides. All right, so same thing. This time though, my right leg's going to be slightly forward. My left foot's going to be slightly back. I'm going to find that spot. Maybe it's a little different on this side. That's sore. Take your thumb, really press into it. And now draw left knee over and across the front of the body and then just kick it straight behind you. You're going to feel the glute light up as you do that. One more. and set the leg down. And now just tuck your knees up so you can press yourself up to a seated position. And we'll come to a seat from here. So take a comfortable seat, right leg on top or out front to get started. Sit nice and tall here. And on the inhale, just draw your chest open and through. Find your cow shape. Lift your chin. Exhale, round through your spine. Tuck the chin, pull the belly in and up. And let's move a few rounds of breath just like that. One more. And inhale, pause. Sweep the arms nice and wide. Slide the right arm under the left. Find your eagle arms here. On the inhale, elbows lift to shoulder height. Draw the fingertips away from your face. Sit nice and tall. Breathe in. And as you exhale, just draw the elbows towards your belly. Crunch in. Get nice and heavy here. Let the back of your head be heavy. Inhale to rise, unwind the arms, reach up and overhead. Exhale, walk the fingertips forward, but I want you to keep your chest up for just a moment. See if your hips roll up. Can you keep your hips rooted towards the ground? And then maybe find some softness. If you've got a block and you want to place it under your head, by all means, go there. We're just going to breathe into the low back for a moment. You likely will feel some around the glutes as well. But send the breath into the low back if that's where you're feeling this. And inhale, slowly rise. Unwind the legs, take the hands behind you, set your feet nice and wide, and just windshield wafer those legs. So same thing kind of as we did on your back. As your knees drop to the right, look over your left shoulder. And as they drop to the left, look over your right shoulder. So present in the movement, intentional. One more. Make sure you're balanced. Then come back through center. Take the left foot to the top or out front. And again, sit nice and tall. Breathe in. Exhale that out. Inhale, sweep the arms wide. Left arm comes under right. This time, elbows lift, shoulder height. Draw those hands away and just let the shoulders have a moment. The outside of the neck have a moment. Inhale. Exhale, draw the elbows towards the belly, round in, the chin tucks, the pelvis tucks just a bit. You might feel all the tightness on the back of the neck. Instead of tensing into it, just breathe into it. Inhale, rise, unwind the arms, reach overhead. Exhale, find your fold. So same thing, you're going to keep your chin, your chest up for a moment, and then maybe find the fold forward. I've got a block under my forehead just because I feel like I want some extra support today. Inhale, slowly rise. And again, you're going to unwind the legs, hands come behind you, and just rock the hips. Look away from the knees as they drop. And then we make our way over to a downward facing dog from there. Pedal out through your feet. Wiggle through the jaw, shake out through the crown of the head. Take an inhale. As you exhale, look between your hands, little steps all the way to your hands. Find your ragdoll. Feet come hip width apart. Grab opposite elbows. Belly connects to thighs. You can have a deep bend here. Inhale, release your fingertips, lengthen halfway. As you exhale, step your left foot behind you. Find your kneeling lunge on the left side. Hands come to the top of the quad. Just breathe into your left hip flexor. And then take your left arm to stretch it across the front of your body. Right hand adds a little bit of extra pressure just to stretch into the back of that left shoulder. Take an inhale. Exhale, unwind the arms. Now frame the front foot. So listen to your knee here, but we're going to stretch into this front ankle. Tuck your left toes, just kind of tuck that left knee in and come down to a seat. But I want you to hug that right knee in really nice and tight. So you might actually kind of have to sit up on your foot just a little bit because I want the knee to come forward of the ankle. I like to give myself a little hug here and really drive right knee forward. You're going to feel your calf, it stretches out the ankle. Again, if this feels funky in the knee, then you can also you can just sit back kind of in a half fold and just give yourself a little hug in. You're not going to get as much of a calf stretch, but listen to where your body is. You'll still get a stretch, so it's still valid. We'll stay here for just another breath in. Now hands are going to unwind, frame that front foot. Just carefully press down, step back into your kneeling lunge and keep the hands down and then press straight through that right leg for your half split. So blocks can be really nice here. You don't have to come all the way down. Maybe you point and flex a few times. Draw that right hip back as you fold. Breathe in. Sink into the right knee, left foot meets right. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach to sky, full breath in. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center and just pause. Rooting down through the feet. Inhale, sweep arms up and overhead. As you exhale, find your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. On the exhale, step your right foot back. We find kneeling lunge on the left side. So hands just come again to top of quad, sink into that right hip flexor. And then take right arm across the front of the body to stretch out through that right shoulder. And release. Frame that front foot. And again, I'm going to take just that little funky step in. I kind of sit back on my heel and tuck everything back. Wrap the arms around that left shin and just lean forward. Again, you get that stretch along the calf. Helps with ankle mobility. I don't realize how sore my calves are until I do something like this. Take another inhale. As you exhale, hands find the ground. Just step it back, unwind the knees so you can set it down. And maybe grab your blocks, send your hips back for that half split, lengthening out through your spine. You can point and flex and move. Another breath in. Exhale, sink it forward. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Reach to sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. On the exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Let the heels be heavy. They don't have to touch the ground. Breathe in. On the exhale, knees find the earth. We find a child's pose. So knees come wide, hips come back. Let your forehead settle towards the ground. Or if it would feel better on your shoulders, you can also reach back for your feet. And take an inhale. As you exhale, just gently draw yourself up. We're going to come all the way down to the belly from here. So hands or forearms will stack for crocodile. Let your feet fall wide and open. Let the glutes be soft. And the low back just gets a release here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, move into Sphinx pose. So elbows stack under shoulders. And in this Sphinx, draw or press down through the left really heavy. You're just stretching through that left side of your neck. Draw back through center. Shoulder drop down to creating space along the right side of your neck. And now draw back through center in your Sphinx. And just let your body settle into this Sphinx. Crown of the head lifts, chest presses forward. And if it would feel okay, draw the left knee into your half frog. So left knee comes in line with left hip, left ankle is flexed. And if you don't want to be up on your hands today, you can come down to crocodile in your half frog. And just let the hips be heavy. And take a breath in. As you exhale, slide left leg back in line with right. I'm going to come up to Sphinx just so I'm balanced. And then right knee slides into that half frog. And again, you don't have to stay up in half frog. You can always come down. Take a breath in. As you exhale, right foot meets left. Pause for just a moment. And then we'll roll all the way to the back from here. So just flip over. And walk the knees back as you do that. And let the feet just be flat on the ground for a moment. Lengthening out through the spine. Just noticing maybe how the spine, the low back feels different. And take the arms overhead and catch Catch opposite elbows as you do that, and let your knees fall to the left in a spinal twist. If it doesn't feel good to have the hold of the chest or the arms overhead, then of course open them up. Inhale, draw back through center and just let the knees fall to the right. You can switch the hold of the elbows. Inhale back through center. And now release the elbows, hug the knees in tight to your chest, draw your nose to your knees, tight, tight squeeze. And release, exhale, Shavasana. Let the feet fall open, the palms open, and just find ease for this final minute of your practice. And on an inhale, bring awareness back into your body. And find little movements in fingers and toes and ankles and wrists. Maybe take a full body stretch if that would feel good. And then use the strength of your arms to press yourself up to a seated position. Draw your hands to prayer at heart center. You can close down the eyes or just gaze forward. But take a deep, full inhale, just filling up with all the goodness of your practice. Open up, exhale, let that go. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself in this space and for one another. The light within me recognizes and honors the light within each of you. Peace.